Hi, I'm Sashwati Banerjee, and I'm the Managing Director of Sesame Workshop in India. The initiative in India is called Gully Gully Sim Sim, which is the Indian adaptation of Sesame Street.
Hi, and my name is Peter Colenso. I'm a member of the International Advisory Group of Sesame Workshop, and I used to work for a foundation called the Children's Investment Fund Foundation, and our paper is the story of how SIF, that foundation, invested in Sesame Workshop India and with the results we achieved.
So, India is a big country with 1.2 billion people. 90 million children in India between the ages of 2 to 8 have no access to education, and 90% of children in India cannot read at grade level. There is a critical need to meet this education gap in India, and we use the power of television and our Muppets to do it.
So in SIF, we were investing in early childhood education and early childhood development, and we wanted to find what were the best investments for to reach those goals. And we had 4 criteria against which we were assessing investments. The first one was impact. What impact can we achieve with the investment? The second one was cost effectiveness. The third was scale, and the fourth was sustainability. And we surveyed across the literature, including the Lancet series that had just been published on ECD, which gave evidence against a set of interventions. We surveyed the literature to see what were the best interventions around impact, scale, cost effectiveness, and sustainability. And that's what brought us to Sesame Workshop India.
SIF actually commissioned the research to the University of Maryland, and there were 2 large studies that were done. One was a randomized controlled trial, and the other was a longitudinal study. What we will be presenting is actually the results of the randomized controlled trial. This was conducted in low-cost private preschools over a 12-week period from baseline to endline, and had a control and a treatment group. And this was done in a small town in India called Lucknow, where it took place. The longitudinal study is still in progress, and we hope to share the results of that at a later stage.
And in terms of the preliminary results, what SIF had invested in was the production of new series of Gully Gully Sim Sim, the Indian version of Sesame Workshop, of Sesame Street. And this was broadcast on national television and across, I think, 7 national languages. And the content has subsequently been used for purposes in media other than TV. And the initial findings from the evaluation are really spectacular and off the chart. In terms of impact, we're finding an impact of between 0.19 standard deviation effect size for the RCT and 0.22 for the longitudinal study, which for an education-oriented intervention is very high. In terms of scale, our second criteria, we've reached, I think, almost 40 million kids across 2 seasons, seasons 7 and 8, and we think we might get up towards 50 million children through seasons 9 and 10. In terms of cost effectiveness, we estimate that this works out at about just under $7 per standard deviation improvement per child, which is off the chart relative to other education interventions. And in terms of sustainability, our fourth criteria, we feel that this content can be rebroadcast, dubbed in additional languages, reused on other media. So these programs will have a life well beyond the initial investment that we made. And our feeling, coming back to the purpose of the conference around philanthropy and education, is that we used a good criteria to screen for the investments. We've had very good results, and we feel that it can produce lessons for how other philanthropists and foundations want to invest, including looking for different delivery platforms and maybe not go for the usual delivery mechanisms, but something a bit more left field involving furry puppets.
Yeah, and from the purpose of our organization, our mission is to help kids grow smarter, stronger, kinder. So while we know that something like this cannot replace schools, I think it provides an additional boost, particularly with respect to providing quality or high quality content to kids, not just to improve their literacy and numeracy, but really also address their overall physical well-being and their pro-social skills.